Good day everyone! For today's video, we are going to know about the Gregorian chant. So let's have a quick introduction first. Gregorian chant is the central tradition of Western plain chant, a form of monophonic and accompanied sacred song in Latin of the Roman Catholic Church. Gregorian chant developed mainly in Western and Central Europe during the 9th and 10th centuries, although popular legends credits Pope Gregory I with inventing Gregorian chant. Scholars believe that it arose from a Carolinian synthesis of Roman chant and Gallican chant. So, to fully understand what is Gregorian chant, please listen and watch this video.
Gregorian chant. Now you might be tempted to think Gregorian chant is too old, too religious, or too exotic sounding to be important, but you couldn't be more wrong. Gregorian chant is the stepping stone where Western music really begins to take off. If Gregorian chant never emerged in the 8th century in Europe, Western music might have never evolved beyond simple chants, songs, and dance music. There would be no Bach, no Mozart, no Beethoven, no Soulja Boy.
Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag.
Actually, upon second thought, maybe no Soulja Boy would be a good thing. But seriously, Gregorian chant brought about the first widely used system of music notation in the West, and the ramifications of that ended up being huge. Let me explain. Without written music, musicians have to rely on the oral tradition, which means you can only learn new music in person. With written music, not only are musical ideas recorded for future generations to study, but it also allows the music to be learned without the original composer being present. So, without this notation system, musicians wouldn't be able to share and expand on musical ideas of the past, which greatly hampers its ability to grow and evolve. Let's look at the basic characteristics of Gregorian chant so you will have some idea what you're listening to. Number 1. Gregorian chant is in Latin. You see, the Roman Empire was a huge reason Christianity spread across the Mediterranean and Europe. Initially, the Romans persecuted Christians, but it was the vast system of roads and trading routes that Christian missionaries used to spread the gospel. The use of Greek and Latin across the empire allowed early Christians to communicate, and explains why the church would adopt Latin as its official language. Eventually, the Roman Empire made Christianity its official religion, and the bishop in Rome began to emerge as one of the most powerful. They started calling him the Pope, and Roman Catholicism began to be the most influential form of Christianity in Europe. Number 2. Gregorian chant doesn't have metered rhythm. We are used to hearing certain beats get more emphasis, but in Gregorian chants, there is no sense of meter. Don't expect to really hear much of a beat in Gregorian chant. This gives chant an ethereal sound. Number 3. Gregorian chant is designed to evoke a mood of worship and religious reflection. Some find them relaxing and meditative, which probably explains why an album of Gregorian chants made it on the pop charts in 1994. From a music appreciation standpoint, we should listen to them because of their historical importance, seeing them as a type of musical museum piece. Of course, you are entitled to enjoy them. Number 4. Gregorian chant usually moves with stepwise motion, meaning each note of the melody moves either up or down a single note. Skipping over a note or notes, called leaps in music, are very rare in Gregorian chant. Also, the overall pitch range sung is quite narrow. Number 5. Gregorian chant features no harmony or accompaniment, so its texture is monophonic. This texture comes from 2 Greek words meaning one voice, an adequate description of what Gregorian chant sounds like. Even when multiple people are singing Gregorian chant, they all sing the same note at the same time. Part of the reason for this was religious symbolism, illustrating the unity of the church. Number 6. There are 8 sets of scales used by Gregorian chant. Well, they're not really scales in the same way major and minor scales are, but for simplicity's sake, there are 8 scales called modes or church modes that Gregorian chant uses. These modes consist of 8 notes dividing the octave, just like the ancient Greeks had done. This is one of the reasons the church modes were given Greek names. So Gregorian chant not only solidified the 8-note scale, but it made these church modes well known throughout Europe and anywhere Catholicism spread. Church modes even show up in popular music from time to time, such as Norwegian Wood by the Beatles, which uses Mixolydian mode, and both Get Lucky by Daft Punk and Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson use Dorian mode. Two of the church modes, Ionian and Aeolian, would become the basis for the major and minor scales that are used in most Western music. There are other characteristics of Gregorian chant that I could go into, but what I've told you so far should suffice for a general introduction to chant. Let's listen to a Gregorian chant, the Dies Irae, from one of the most widely used collections of Gregorian chant, the Liber Usualis. As you listen, try to notice the aspects that are pointed out by the video. Here it is. That wasn't too hard to understand. All we needed was a bit of historical context and some general information about what to expect. If nothing else, we should appreciate the massive contributions that Gregorian chant made to Western music. Remember, appreciating means assigning value to something, and one cannot ignore the many valuable contributions Gregorian chant made to Western music. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can be notified of new music-related videos like this one. Check out other videos I've made, such as What is a Fugue or What is Tone Color. And remember, never stop learning.